action.
Here we go. Screen rant. Guys
Steven
make some
Universe
really
is a
interesting
popular
episodes that
cartoon
really
that
help
was
us
the first
learn
to be
things.
created solely by a woman for Cartoon Network.
Wyman.
Rebecca Sugar
Wyman
based
power.
the lead character, a half-alien boy, on her younger brother Steven, who also happens to be an artist on the series. It's aimed
I
at
did not
kids,
know that.
so it's largely inoffensive,
I
but
really
that
did not
didn't
know
stop
that.
some countries from censoring
I thought it
certain
was Steven
aspects of the
Universe
show.
expert.
And that's what this video is about. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's
All
the best
around
way
the
of keeping
world,
up to date with all of Screen
People
Rant's
want
great
to
new
be
videos.
homophobes.
I know what this meal needs. A bag of onion.
Altered dialogue. There have been
you're
a
not gonna eat
number
them, are
of
ya?
instances where the supposedly inappropriate dialogue in Steven Universe has been altered
Supposedly.
in various countries around the world. For one of the most extreme and largely unnecessary examples, look no further than the United Kingdom. In the UK,
Oh, great. Of all
Amethyst's line,
places.
"Do you ever hear from old Farty Marty?" in the episode Onion Friend was cut down to "Do you ever hear from old Marty?" Seriously, the
Really?
word farty was deemed
all
too
things.
offensive for the children of the UK to hear.
A
the
kid
UK
show. They couldn't
literally
use
being
farty.
the accepted birthplace of toilet humor. There was also a line written for
Point
Marty
taken with
when
Monty
he was
Python.
talking to Greg Universe about Greg's infatuation with rose quartz in the episode Story for Steven, that originally had
Oh.
him saying, "See, Greg,
It was
this is your
kinda
problem.
inappropriate
You
in some
want
ways if you
one
wanna think
huge
about it."
woman when you could have multiple small ones." In the UK, to make Marty sound a little less like a repulsive womanizer who dislikes overweight women, the line was changed to,
Sheesh.
"See, Greg, this is your problem. Don't
I
get
mean,
distracted
you
by
gotta
these small
please the
town
feminists,
girls.
but
They
at the
don't
same
matter."
time,
And those changes are just a couple of the
It
countless
kind
examples
of
from
makes
around
him
the
seem
world.
more like a douche.
The only
Which is
way
a
to
good thing, I
defeat
guess.
the
Maybe.
beat is with meat.
Altered signage. It's not just the audible words in Steven Universe that have been changed to suit audiences around the world. Some of the written words, specifically those on signage in the show, has as well. For instance, in France, a sign that said Meat Beat Mania simply said Beat Mania to avoid any suggestion of meat beating.
Really?
In fact, one sign at the
you're
Funland
France.
amusement
You could have
park in
called
the show
like
was even
Cooking
altered
Mania,
in America in
or
a
maybe
later episode. A hot
Grilling
dog
Mania.
stall sign that
All
previously
things could have
said
called it.
wiener in
You
hand
called
was
it
changed
just
to simply
Beat
say
Mania.
hot dogs. On a related note, and perhaps even more baffling, is the
You're
fact
sad,
that some of the
France. You're the
text
world
in
of
certain
cooking,
episode titles
but you
were
failed
changed
miserably.
abroad. In Russia, Bulgaria, and the Middle East, for example, the episode known as An Indirect Kiss Everywhere Else was changed to variations of Steven's power. The original title
Really?
referred to a moment in the show when Steven improved Connie's vision by kissing her on the forehead, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Huh.
But for some bizarre reason, the word kiss on an episode of a children's cartoon was deemed to be
That's-
inappropriate. Do you really
Yeah,
think
that's
these
really
changes
weird.
were needed?
No, I do not think. If you're able,
Watered
get
down
just
violence.
remember this is
Scenes involving
stable.
physical violence in
Oh, yeah, I've heard
Steven
about this
Universe
one,
tend
like,
to show contact between
the one scene
people
they
who are
actually
fighting.
altered the
If someone
kick
gets punched in
scene
the
from
face,
the
you'll see the
Smoky
contact
Quartz
between
and
fist
Jasper
and
episode.
face. If someone gets kicked
Oh,
in the
yeah.
head, you'll see the contact between the foot and the head. Or at least
America!
you will when the show is being aired in America.
Heck
In the likes of the
yeah.
UK and Australia, however, a technique known as hit flash is used instead, which fills the
Oh.
screen with a big flash at the point of contact, masking the moment it happens. A prime example comes in the Jailbreak episode, when the brutal showdown between Garnet and Jasper was full of hit flashes spliced in at various points to hide the moment of physical contact when any punches occurred. It's actually
Weren't they
quite a
worried that
commonly
might get
used technique in
kids'
animation.
seizures?
Batman
I mean,
the Animated Series
flashing
is
lights
another
all the
show that
time?
uses it. And it's
That
so
would definitely
subtle
give
that
someone
it's
a
barely
seizure or two.
noticeable unless you're aware of the fact that it's happening.
just saying
It's a
UK.
convenient way to make the censors happy if they don't want actual contact violence depicted in cartoons without really taking any quality away from the scenes in question.
Good for Batman. Now do it better in Steven Universe, please. Oh boy, this part.
Homophobia. Yup. What
The big
essentially
one.
amounts to homophobia is occurring in
The whole
some
basis
countries
of
when
the
it comes
show.
to Steven Universe. Can you believe that? The show was
What a
groundbreaking
surprise.
for being a kids' cartoon depicting homosexuality. But certain countries seem to pretend the very concept of homosexuality doesn't exist when they air the show, by cutting out any scenes in which two
lot of
characters
Middle
of the
Eastern
same sex
nations are like
kiss
that, I
or show
believe.
each other affection.
Right?
For example, in
Yeah.
Malaysia, in the episode Hit the Diamond, when Ruby and Sapphire kissed, they spliced in duplicate shots of what happened before and after the kiss instead of actually showing it. In the UK, in the episode
Bruh.
We Need to Talk, Pearl and Rose
Bruh.
spontaneously did the fusion dance,
I hope they have
which is the
pirating
most
in
intimate
there.
act the characters in the show are capable of. And
Yeah.
while suggestive, it certainly wasn't explicit. But the scene was cut to a guitarist
is very
from the
cute.
band whose music was playing instead. And in Sweden, Sapphire's line,
Bruh.
"I'm trying, but all I want to look at is you," was
Sweden?
changed to "I'm trying, but I'm having problems concentrating," in order to
Wow.
avoid the suggestion that she was sexually attracted to Ruby. For this to still be happening in the 21st
mean-
century is sad, really.
Everything Everything on this island
gotta be a
has
little
such a
accepting
bright,
at least.
happy smile.
Yep, very true.
Snipped scenes
Not.
and episodes. A number of scenes from Steven Universe have been strangely snipped around the world. For example, Latvia snipped a few seconds from a makeout session between Sadie and Lars in the Island Adventure episode. Yeah, even heterosexual couples are having their kisses edited.
Y'all are
Poland
heterophobes,
shortened
you know
a scene
that?
in which Amethyst pulled a large booger out of her nose. No, really. Boogers were deemed to be inappropriate in a kids
farts,
show in Poland,
boogers,
as if
and
every
everything
single
that we
kid watching hadn't picked
hate
their nose
in the
at
United
some
States
point.
is basically
And even
cut
more
off from
bizarrely,
other
most of
nations?
Europe cut Steven executing
Wow.
the Heimlich maneuver to save Lars from choking on a donut laced with powerful fire salt. What the heck is wrong with showing the Heimlich maneuver? It's a technique
True.
that saves lives, for goodness sake. Moreover, some entire episodes have been completely excised. We Need to Talk wasn't shown in Turkey, The Answer
Really?
hasn't been broadcast in Russia, and both
You're
So
kidding
Many
me.
Birthdays and Lars and the Cool Kids haven't been aired in the Middle East. For whatever reason,
Okay, the Middle East I
content
can
of those
accept, but
episodes
really,
has been deemed so
The Answer, like the
inappropriate
most
for
beautiful
children that they will
episode in
never be
all
shown
of
on TV
Steven
in those
Universe.
countries.
Hasn't been
And
shown in Russia
frankly,
yet?
That's just weird.
My apologies, Mr. Putin. My apologies.
Whoops.
Bruh. Let's just be real here. Sometimes people are going to be accepting of other people's beliefs and ideas. Sometimes they're going to be too ridiculous and do things that are just plain stupid. And in this case, Planet Earth, what the frick is wrong with you?
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
Jingle jangle,
As I go riding merrily along.
jingle jangle,
And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single?
jingle jangle.
And that song ain't so very far from wrong.